Hey there, everybody. I hope you're doing well in your little corner of the world. I have been doing quite well today in my corner of the world after processing what happened yesterday and not getting the outcome that I wanted in my life and for my future. There's still hope, but I still feel this sense of ease and peace in my mind and in my heart that I am in the right place. And I'm being led in the right direction. I've been thinking about a lot of things and I don't know where I will focus on in this video, what thoughts I will talk about everything that's been in my mind today. I've been thinking about the issue of immigration in this country. I've been thinking about the art of thinking. I've been thinking about my own interpersonal relationships and how those interpersonal relationships have shaped me in my life and have been facilitators. Those people have been facilitators to allow me to explore a deeper version of myself. It really wasn't about them, it was about me and exploring the depths of my being. And they were just like the gurus or the facilitators, unwittingly. Most people don't know that they are that to another person, but really everybody teaches us something new about ourselves, about our journeys, about our own psyche, about our values, or highlights certain things that we need to pay attention to in our own lives, right? So I've been thinking about that. There have been many people in my life that I've really been grateful for their presence in my current experience in my life. There have people that have, I should say this. Everyone that I've met in my life, or everyone that I've had, or anybody that I've had an opportunity to connect with, and it doesn't even have to be in person, it could be virtual. And I think, I'm going to go on a tangent for a little bit, but I do think that consciousness wanted technology, the technology that we have today where we can FaceTime and communicate with others and Zoom link with others and do all kinds of stuff and do live videos with each other, and you can see other people record their thoughts on platforms such as YouTube and things like that. Consciousness wanted that to communicate with more beings, and it kind of created it. I'm going to go on this woo-woo talk about how we kind of wanted this to happen, but then it's getting out of control, because nowadays, if you really think about it, we have more information than Alan Watts did in his time, right? We know more about the world than what people back in the day, back when Alan Watts was alive, knew about the world and about society. Society has changed since then, since the 70s, since the 60s, since the 50s. It's changed dramatically. And that doesn't mean that their wisdom or their knowledge is obsolete or that it's not applicable to our lives today. Of course it is. Of course, there are certain ideas that still stick to the essence of who we are, and that doesn't change. It's kind of like an unchanging, I'm going to use the word idea for lack of a better term, but it's not really an idea. It's kind of like a recognition of your being, if that makes sense. And some things stay the same. Some quote-unquote ideas stay the same about who we are, who we really are, the self, right? God, right? There are certain ideas that don't change and remain true, but at the same time, what I've been able to discover is that as society progresses and as the years pass and as more time passes and we become more technologically advanced with our phones and AI and all of these robots going around, we think it's going to take over the world. And of course it can. It has that ability to destroy humans. And, you know, it has the ability to displace many employees because it would take away many jobs, right? Kind of like the Industrial Revolution at the time. Like, we're living through a new kind of industrial revolution where many people will lose their jobs, but new jobs will be created. And I don't know if those jobs are going to be related to AI or technology, but in the end, there will be more fields that people go into. 50, 60, 70 years ago, there weren't fields such as coding, the coding that we have now, the tech, the IT that we had now. Of course, there was a bit of coding back in the day, but not as big as it is today, right? And so those jobs were created. Coders were created and people in the tech world were created. And, you know, that's one of many examples, but that's the one that is the most obvious, right? The most conspicuous. But what I was trying to say was that technology, I feel like consciousness wanted technology to exist to understand itself more, right? So we have these platforms, we have these video formats where we can share our ideas with others and it reaches more people. Like the people watching this video, they wouldn't even ever know that I existed if it weren't for this platform, right? You wouldn't know I exist. I wouldn't know you exist if you didn't leave comments and things like that. Maybe because we're not in the same country, or we don't live in the same neighborhood, or we're in completely different social circles, or, you know, just there's no possible way to run into each other in person in this lifetime. So we connect through videos, right? And some people have said to me that they resonate with my ideas or that I've helped them, and I'm very touched by that. I started off this YouTube channel for myself to record my own thoughts. I thought this would be a great experiment for me to be able to express myself in a video format and then archive all of these videos on a platform, and then 10 years from now look back at the stuff that I was thinking about. But then other people started watching, and I didn't really expect that. I didn't expect people to watch and stay and subscribe. Wow, I'm so grateful for that. And for people to say that they resonate with my ideas, or they connect with my ideas, or that idea or what I said gave them a bit of food for thought, or they disagree with me, and that disagreement that person has with me allows me to explore my own inner thinking and my why I think the way I think, and they challenge me, and I wouldn't have really had that type of rapport if it weren't for this, you know, platform that exists, that we created, right? Of course, I forgot what the creator of YouTube, what his name is, or what their names are, but, you know, I believe that we are all one, and we're all one consciousness. So when I say we, even though it was, I don't know his name, the CEO of or like the creator of YouTube. I don't know his name. So I am him and he is me, basically. That's what I believe in, if you want to know a bit of my belief system. Like, we're the same consciousness, just different versions of ourselves, different characters in this game, doing different roles, but we are being played by the same player of the video game, but we're also the player in the video game, the person that's outside of the video game. So, you know, when you play little video games on your phone and you tell your little character to do this and do that kind of thing. Or I remember when I was a kid, I didn't have that much technology, but some of my cousins would play with a game called Sims, and they would tell the Sim to go pee or to go to sleep, or, you know, take a shower and do this and do that, right? And the Sim had its roles and its characters, right? And that's what I believe we are. We are kind of like the Sim, and we're being played by an outside character, but we're also the outside character, if that makes sense. Like, we're connected, but the outside character that is playing me, the character of Megan, is experiencing itself in this game through my lens. I don't know if all of this is confusing people. My thoughts are pretty confusing, if I'm being honest. But anyway, going back to people being facilitators, I think that there have been people in my life, most of the people that I've really connected with, and even strangers, there have been strangers in my life that I've never seen ever again, but I looked them in the eyes and there was something about them that it's like I knew them in another life. It's so freaking weird to explain, but it's happened quite a few times where I look at a stranger and they look at me, and it's like we know each other, but I don't know what I know about. It's not like I know about their life or they know about my life kind of knowing. It's just like, oh, I've interacted with this Sim before, or like not the Sim itself, but I've interacted with this being before, or this spirit before. Really weird stuff, I know, but my mind is pretty weird. So anyway, I think technology has facilitated that for people to connect more easily, and so to help each other grow in consciousness. So anyway, I wish you all the best, and keep on growing. Peace and love. Bye.